Hi guys, this is Tanya from Love Goddess Tarot. Today I want to do a reading for all of you who are struggling with true love, to find true love, and you're struggling with intimacy. And we want to resolve some blocks and release some of the energy that's perhaps getting in the way of you really opening up your heart and allowing love in. So let's have a look for the group. What is needed to open up to true love and intimacy? So it's very interesting because intimacy requires vulnerability. And to be vulnerable, it means getting emotionally naked. And it's easier to be physically naked than to be emotionally open, because that means that the other person sees our flaws, sees the things we even hide from ourselves. And so for many, there's a lot of fear around being seen. So there are a lot of cards jumping out today. So because of that, often what happens is we hide parts of ourselves. We may wear a mask. We might appear jovial, happy, outgoing, out there. But inside, it's another story. We feel alone, isolated, not good enough, not worthy, not deserving, and mostly not deserving of love. And so we cut ourselves off from the very thing that we desire the most. And that is a pattern that plays out an awful lot. It has to do with abandonment and rejection that comes through from a very young age. So if any of you have had particularly difficult upbringing, do know that there's an inner child within you that needs a lot of love. And I can promise you that when you start loving your inner child, you're going to find your life changes, because you have to re-parent yourself and give yourself the support to feel safe, to show up as you are. And that is what I wish for all of you, because it is what is needed to move your love life forward. So what's also really important here is I feel a lot of you are going through a period of learning. In fact, I feel a lot of you are seeking true love, and you're wanting that forever picture with somebody, perhaps someone that's on your mind, and you're wondering just how that's going to work out. If you're someone who gets super excited and caught up in the passion and the loved up, lust-loved feelings that come up, then this is for you. They say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And I remember many moons ago, I was very quick to rush into things. What happens is you repeat your patterns until one day you say enough. And everyone's unique. So there is no right and wrong, and nothing is ever wasted. And each relationship brings you closer to understanding yourself and who you are. So see, wherever you're at right now, see it as a time of learning. And you are definitely in a period of learning. You know, there's also a sense of though elevation. In other words, some of you have already made that big leap to understanding your patterns. You've cleared, you've let go, and you're kind of ready to learn more about yourself and how to get to those deeper levels. So this indicates to me that a lot of you are not looking for superficial relationships, and those are fine, by the way. There's nothing wrong with having those, but for this particular reading and this particular group, it's really about wanting something more substantial, long-term, deep, meaningful, and spiritual. Because there's also, whether it's religious, whether you're spiritual, it's not about that, but it's about wanting somebody on the same wavelength, particularly when it comes to your belief systems. So what's very interesting is while you're busy in this period of learning, sometimes there are some tests that come along. So for some of you, I'm getting a sense of somebody rushing in. And I'm getting a sense of somebody going, don't leave me behind. I'm coming along with you. So this may be somebody that you've been out of touch with. I get a younger energy with this person. You know, they're suddenly waking up last minute. Could be someone you've been in a relationship with before, but it just feels quite humorous in the sense that it's quite a light-hearted energy. You know, it's somebody who's full of humor and jokes, trying to come in going, don't leave me behind, because they've sensed that your energy is moving on. So this can also be an ex who wakes up and goes, oh no, you're not getting away so quickly. So somebody having second thoughts. And of course, as life will have it, the minute you make a change, the minute you're moving on, suddenly choice comes in. So the choice may be yourself and another. The choice may be yourself and an ex, but you're in an in-between stage. So this is kind of like a stage where you're still figuring yourself out. And this is actually not a bad place to be. You know, the focus is very much on what do I need, what do I want, being somewhat undecided. And for some of you, it feels like the tables have turned, because it feels like perhaps in times gone by, you know, your person was the one who didn't know whether they were in or out. And now suddenly these tables have turned. So for a lot of you, I absolutely get it with the Six of Cups, you know, the past memories resurfacing, someone really deeply thinking about you, wanting another chance. There's beautiful memories. They're not memories that are all, you know, bad. It's somebody who wants to come in and create beautiful, wonderful memories. Now, there's also a sense that for some of you, this is a soulmate, and it can be a past life connection that feels very familiar. So it can be somebody flying in as you're working on yourself, looking at what you want, and clearing around these things of true love. You're learning. It feels like you might be, you know, researching, reading articles. You might be watching videos all about, you know, how to be a better lover, how to be a better partner. But you're focusing on you, and you might be feeling like the focus needs to be on you. And this person comes in and kind of throws like a spanner in the works. So, for some of you, you're closer to the universe bringing you your soulmate, and this is very soon. Someone coming back in from the past for some of you. Others, it is a past life soulmate connection. And now comes the joy, because this will be, this time around, a gift of love. Okay, for a lot of you, this is a far better relationship. It's blessed by spirit. There's the dove of peace. It's saying, you know, here it is. You know, Spirit is saying, you've asked for this, now here it is. And of course, this is now going to mean that you're going to need to look at your issues, possibly around intimacy, vulnerability, and things that a lot of you have not wanted to really, or you haven't wanted to go there because it's just easier keeping people at arm's length, but you cannot have deep connections if you keep them at arm's length. So for a lot of you, I'm seeing speaking up and starting to reveal what's in your heart. This won't be a time of not sharing. So let go of whatever has happened with this particular person in the past. If it's a past person, you've got to let go. There'll be more love, more sharing if you come together and you leave the past behind. For those of you who are connecting with a past life soulmate, in other words, a new relationship, this too will bring up some fears. You may be triggered. You may feel uncertain. It might feel too good to be true. Haven't you ever been there? And of course, everything comes up with the lovers. It's a pretty intense connection. It will pull you back together, whether from a past life or past lives or the recent past or the distant past. But this is a time where we're reconnecting with people that are meaningful on a soul level. So it might be very different for you face to face in the physical world. You know, some of you might have decided I'm moving on, but you're being pulled back by Spirit saying, just hang on a second, give this a look. Look at this, see, what do you think? There's a lot of mirroring. And remember, your relationships show you what needs to shift within to bring you closer to love. You two are going to learn some lessons from each other. Do not let fear stand in the way. There's a lot of chemistry and a lot of connection, but the mind gets in the way. And so one or both of you may feel very stuck and nothing is moving forward because it's all around the mental. It's all around, thinking, talking in circles. So stop. Don't go into these conversations. Just sit with each other and get one thing clear. What do you want? If they've come in, they want you. So be in the moment with that. Keep it simple because this complicates things. So there's a feeling that it will be slow, but slowly there'll be movement. Okay, I feel slow movement here. And be careful too of not going back to the past. Now, a lot of mental realm cards are coming up, and I do feel there is a possibility of some mind games being played or miscommunication and power struggles and innuendos and, trying to say one thing and out comes another. So communication is going to be vital in this connection. For those of you who are with someone new, it's going to mean you're going to need to brush up on your communication skills. Always say things through the eyes of love and do not say things that you wouldn't want said to you. Do unto others what you would do unto yourself. This is really important. So there's a new beginning for love coming in, but it's also accompanied by a lot of fear. And it's funny because you can have this long-term beautiful relationship that you seek with all the trimmings. However, complications are coming in through power struggles, through someone wanting to win, someone wanting to carry away the crown, so to speak, of the conversation, and it's conditional. So you may be dealing with somebody that's very much up in their head, very much connected to, your air signs that are very connected to the energy of the mind, swiftness, talking. There's a lot of talking I'm hearing, but not solutions. It's more like often they may like hearing themselves speak. Well, what about you? This can also be vice versa. So it's time to listen, and it's time to step back and assess whether you are compatible or not. For some of you, your person may have a lot of grounding. So they could be quite grounded in the world. They have possessions. They could have wealth. They could be solid. However, they could also be very grounded without understanding or really getting clear around you and your needs. So a lot of what this needs is sensitivity. And so there's a sense of needing to communicate around what you need to feel safe and how you need things to move forward. Vulnerability is about being able to speak from your heart about your needs. A lot of you have suppressed your needs. Maybe your needs were never considered, and now you have to stand up for yourself. So I'm seeing a lot of talking about standing up for yourself, standing in your power, speaking up, speaking your truth. And this relationship definitely holds potential. It'll come in rather suddenly and unexpectedly in a way. I hear, I'm not ready for this, but it's always the perfect timing. So you'll be getting what you want, but there's a bit of it almost looks like a maze. And the maze is all about not letting your head do you in and going back to your old patterns and misunderstanding what is being said. Because ultimately your person coming in, they are absolutely wanting a relationship with you. But you could get caught up in the logistics to the degree that you talk yourself out of it. So please, when you have these conversations, please make sure that you watch out for arguments. So you need more information, especially when you're assuming, especially when you're coming from a place of uncertainty. Find out more before you decide. Find out more before you say anything. This is a golden opportunity for you to grow, for you to have the relationship you want. However, you need to also work your way through some of those conversations. It's almost about, we have to have some uncomfortable conversations, and I'm going to be scared about speaking my truth and what I need, but I've got to say it. And the universe will be gently nudging you to speak your truth and say what it is you need. The situation will improve. So after some conversations, some talking, take it slow. It's going to come to a point where you can agree. Lots of breathing needed. So remember, when you're stuck, when you're feeling like you're not coping, if things are getting a little bit heated conversation-wise, breathe. There will be a peaceful resolution for you, and you will receive your answer, which is yes. So it is saying this is positive, and you will be able to start something new with this person on a fresh, clean page. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading. Please leave me a comment, give me a like, and subscribe to my channel so we can see each other more often, and you'll be notified when I post. I'd love to know about your fears and uncertainties. We all have them. It's part of being human. I just want to say it's okay, and you're loved. I see you. I appreciate you. And I look forward to sharing with you again. Have a beautiful day. Lots of love and blessings. I'll also leave a link for my website if you're looking for a personal love reading at this time. And we'll see each other again soon. Lots of love and blessings.